First experience of anything is memorable. The first day in school, first day in college, first train journey or bus journey, first time you met your life partner, first time you attended a Toastmasters meeting. There are many such things. The first flight experience is more memorable for a country like India, where air travel is still not affordable for everyone. Today, I'm going to share my first flight experience, which was very unique. The first time I traveled in a flight was sometime in 1990 or 91. I don't remember the year. But now I have a question for you. Can you guess the airlines by which I would have traveled? It's 1990 or 91.
Air India.
Okay, that is the obvious answer because there were not many airlines in those days. But let me share my memorable, momentous, and monumental experience which I had. I traveled in an Air Force cargo flight. Indian Air Force cargo flight. Wondering how I could have made it. I was not Arya. I mean, Surya, like in the movie Varanam Ayiram, I was a normal person. But at that time, I was working in DRDO, the Defense R&D organization. I was working in a lab called Defense Electronics Research Laboratory, Hyderabad. I was working in a missile project. We were responsible for the ground electronics of that system. Once in a while, every 6 months, we would go to Balasur in Orissa. Actually, the place is called slightly away, Chandipur. There is an interim test range there. We used to go there, take all the systems, try the flight, and then record data, analyze the failures or success or whatever, and learn things for our future trials. We would go there for 2 to 4 weeks. Sometimes it may get extended also. During one such time, when we went there for the flight trials, it got extended quite a lot. We were becoming restless, but the objectives had to be met. We had to complete the flight trial, all that. By the time the flight trial got completed, Ganesh Chaturthi was nearing. People were keen on going to their hometowns immediately. In the normal case, what we would do is, the moment the mission is completed, we would all go to the Balasur railway station, get into some train that is coming, request the TTE for seats, and then sit wherever we could comfortably sit and travel. That time, the trains were running full. We couldn't get into train. Sensing that, we requested our project director at that time, Anand Kumar Kapoor, to do something. Then he talked to the Indian Air Force authorities and then arranged a flight for all of us to be airlifted to Hyderabad from Balasur. At that time, I was not eligible for the commercial flight journey. I was eligible for only the train journey. Similarly, there were many people who were eligible only for the train journey. Those who were eligible for the flight journey, they went by flight and moved to Hyderabad. The project director selected those people who were not eligible for the flight journey at that point in time. I was one of the luckiest people to be selected out of that 50. We were all taken by an Air Force vehicle from Balasur to Kalaikunda, which is in West Bengal. That's a Air Force station. We were all excited. Another unique thing about this is, like in a commercial aircraft, you will see people from, I mean, many strangers may be there. Here, it was like a marriage party. You know everyone who is traveling with you. all are from the defense R&D labs in Hyderabad. And we were excited as we approached. There were forms to be filled, all that we did that. When we reached the base station, Air Force base station, we saw the aircraft. It was a cargo flight, not like the passenger aircraft. Inside it, along the fuselage, there will be a long bench on both sides. And we used to sit on the bench. Of course, for the safety purpose, there was the seat belt. We had to wear it. But for that, there was no refreshment. There was no air hostess, nothing of that sort. It was just a plain air journey. Once the flight started and started cruising stable, we were told we could remove the seat belt, all that. We started doing that, and then we started moving around a little. In fact, we also played card games, which we would normally do in our train journey. That was a fantastic experience. No check-ins, no refreshment, but this was an interesting experience. From Kalaikunda to Hyderabad, it was about 2.5 hours. And by the time we just landed, we were all very happy. We were all very excited about for many of us, it was the first flight experience. For me, it was definitely. I felt very happy. In fact, 10 years back, I wrote about it in one of my blogs. Some of those things are not very much clear because in those days, we didn't have the camera. We didn't have social media to post it immediately, all that. All that I'm talking about is from my memory. That is why 10 years back, I just wrote it down in a blog, and then I'm repeating that as a speech here. Hopefully, I will fly someday. I don't know. But then subsequently, though I have traveled in several times in the flight, this one is very memorable for me. Thank you. Back to Toastmasters.
Toastmaster Antonio, and thanks for the opportunity today to evaluate DTM. I don't know whether I fit into the large shoes there, but I'll try to be as fair and as constructive as possible. So today, Dr. Ashok Kumar, DTM Ashok Kumar, I was imagining something very different, honestly, because I know he's a much traveled person. So I thought he's going to talk about some of his trips outside India or something like that. But when he paused and gave that question to the audience, I realized that it is not as straightforward as that. But to travel in a cargo plane was something that I didn't expect. I probably thought something like a fighter plane or something, but cargo plane was beyond my imagination. So it was a great, he really brought me to the edge of the seat and great way to open it. You had good usage of language, anecdotes, etc. So most of the objectives of the speech were met. It was a good plot to talk about your workplace, and you then gradually moved the sequence in a very appropriate way. So it was very well laid out content and good opening and a good closing and a good climax in between. So what could have done? What you could have done better? Of course, every speech I feel could have a little more impact done. So you talked about sharing something. So I was expecting a picture to come, and that was kind of a disappointment for me. Little bit of vocal variety would have added little more punch to the talk. Like you were saying, we were all excited. That excitement wasn't coming out. Similarly, disappointment with the cargo flight. When you said that you were put on a cargo flight, you could have told, "Oh, cargo flight, no beautiful air hostesses," or something like that, right? So that would have added little more emphasis on vocal variety. And also on the objective of this speech is to use descriptive language. So which means you have to fill it with a lot of exaggerations or metaphors and so on. So you could have made little more interesting. Like for example, the cargo flight, you could have told, I was put into a air katavandi, like something like that. Or explain the location where you went to. Balasore must be having something unique about it, right? Like probably it's a dry region or it's lush green. So you could have transported us to that place using some vivid descriptions about that place, right? So those would have really added or content to the objectives of the speech. But overall, I think the suspense was very well kept, and and you revealed it with with a lot of anticipation from the audience. So great speech, and thank you for delivering this. Look for more speeches from you, sir. Over to you, General Evaluator.
And thank you so much, Toastmaster Kannan, for giving a wonderful evaluation.